Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to Cubing with Ty. Today, I'm going to teach you how to solve a 3x3. So, shout out to this person up on screen. Thank you for asking me to do this because, to be completely honest, I didn't want to do this and I still don't really want to do this. But we're going to do it anyway. So, the first step is obviously scrambling your cube. Alright, so now that your cube is scrambled, the next step is learning basic cube notation. Now, to be completely honest, I never learned this, I still barely know it, but somewhere up on screen, I'm going to put a chart, and that's basic cube notation. That basically means what each move is. For example, this is R, R prime, U, U prime, and etc. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is find a center. Usually, most people start with the white one, so that's what we're going to start with today. That's usually what I start with. And now you want to build a white cross. So your white edge pieces, you want to put in line, but you want them to match up with the other centers. So here's another one. So you got your white and green, and then you got your white and red. And then here's a white and blue edge piece. Now you got another one. And then you got an orange and white. So you can do certain stuff and put it in. So you got a cross now. Now, building your cross isn't always going to be super easy. Sometimes pieces will be in for you. Sometimes they'll be in trickier locations. And sometimes they'll be like reversed. And this is kind of just, there's no real way of doing this. You just kind of basic knowledge to get your cross. And sometimes, say for example, your piece is here. Say for example, your piece is here. And to put it up, you have to go like this. Well, now that's out of the way. So you just move it back in. So there's lots of times where you'll be knocking pieces out of place, and you can go like this. To get your cross is kind of just basic, just whatever. Play around until you get your cross. The more time you spend cubing, the easier it'll get to identify and put together a cross. All right, so the next thing is corners. Now this corner already got put in place for us, but that's okay because there's still 3 other ones. Now there's always all sorts of different ways the corners can go. This one is super easy. You just move it out of the way, you can move this up, put it in place, and put it down. Now, once again, you want the corner to match your centers. So the red and the red and the green and the green. So for this corner, you want your white, green, and orange edge piece, which is here. So you can move it over, and you can move it out of the way, move your piece up, put it in place, and put it back down. And same with this one. Sometimes you'll have to do them from this side, like this, and sometimes you'll have to do them from this side. So sometimes you gotta do them from this side, sometimes you gotta do them from this side. Once again, this is like your cross. You gotta play around to get a bit to get them in place. Now there is certain times when they'll be upside down, and this is basically just repeating this set of moves until it gets in. Putting your corner where you kind of below where you want it, and repeating either this set of moves or this set of moves. I'm better at doing it on this side. So it doesn't really matter which side, it's just personal preference and whatever you're better at. Now, like the edges, the more practice, the better you'll get, the faster you'll get at identifying and being able to insert your corners. All right, now you got your first layer solved. The next step is getting your second layer, these 4 edges in place. Now this is kind of the first step that requires a real algorithm, and it's still a pretty simple one, but you want to start by identifying your corners, your edges. So right here, this one's already in place, like down, it's not in place, but like we can't use it for now. This one we can't use for now either.
Editor tie here. I forgot to mention, if you ever have a piece that is in backwards or in like this and has to be taken out, you just do this algorithm that I'm about to teach you with a random yellow piece, knocking this piece out, and then you can put it in the correct spot.
So right now we have this one and this one that are accessible to us. So we'll start with the green and orange one. We'll bring it over so that whatever color is on its face is lined up with this piece. Now this piece is going to be going into this slot. So what you want to do is you want to line it up with your face. And then whichever side it's going into, for example, this one is going into this slot, you want to move it over to that side. And then you want to do this set of moves. L prime, U prime, L, U. I don't know what this move is, but it's something. R, U, R prime. Now that piece is in. And now here's another edge piece, so we can put this in place. Once again, it's going to this side, so we move it over, and then we go L prime, U prime, L, U, this move, R, U, R prime. And now it's in place. So there is also, oh, this is doing the same thing. There is also the case where you'll have to put the piece into this side. Give me a second. All right, so now we have to put the piece into this side. So this is just the opposite of putting it in this side. You move it over this way so that it's basically opposite of the top color, like we did with the other pieces. And then we do this algorithm. R, U, R prime, U, this move, L prime, U prime, L. Now it's in place. And once again, this is back to doing the first algorithm we did. Move it over to this side, the opposite way of whichever way it wants to go. So like you line it up, and if it wants to go to this side, you move it over this way. If it wants to go to this side, you move it over this way. In this case, it wants to go to this side. So you do this set of moves. L prime, U prime, L, U, whatever this move is, R, U, R prime. Now it's in place. Now, if you did that correctly, you should have all your edges in place. If you need to go back and re-watch that section, go back and re-watch that section. All right, the last step, the second last step, the yellow cross. Now this is kind of perfect because this is the farthest step from finished, is the yellow dot. What you want to do, if you have a yellow dot, you want to hold yellow on top. It doesn't matter which side you're on, and you want to turn your face, and then you want to repeat. No, you don't want to repeat. You want to do this algorithm. R, U, R prime, U. And then undo your setup move, and now you should have an L. Now, second step, sometimes you'll have an L when you finish your second layer. So that kind of skips that first step that we just did, which is always nice. But whether you had to do that first step or you skipped that first step and you started with an L, you want to hold it with the L to your far left corner, so up here. And you want to do your setup move, R, U, R prime, U prime. Undo your setup move. Now you should have a bar. Now, once again, when you finish your second layer, you might just have this bar. And once again, that's great. You skipped the L and you skipped the dot. So now that you have the bar, you want to do the same thing. Setup move, R, U, R prime, U. undo your setup move. Now you have your yellow cross. All right, now we're on the last step. Actually, never mind, second to last step. You have your yellow cross, but the colors aren't aligned. Now these two are, which is good, because you want two colors aligned. But you might not always get two colors aligned. And no matter how you turn it, you might get two colors aligned, but you want two colors side by side aligned. So whether it be these two, these two, these two, not across. So like you want a blue and an orange. You want them to be across, but you won't always get that. So in the case that you don't, it doesn't matter how you have it, whether it's these two together, or none together, you gotta do this set of moves. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. And now you should end up with at least one pair that is in the right spot. So these two aren't. Sometimes it'll be these two, sometimes it'll be these two. It's always different. Now, in this case, you get them here. Now, sometimes you will skip that first step and you will get them like this right from the start. And when you get that, you want to hold them. Hold up, I'm having a brain fart. All right, I figured it out. Sorry, I'm just not good at doing it slowly. I'm good at solving a cube fast. But you want to hold your correct pieces in your right top corner. So these two pieces are correct this way. And you want to repeat that same algorithm I did before. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. And now you should have all your yellow pieces in the right spots. That is your yellow cross complete. All right, I lied again. That wasn't the second to last step, this is. So now you want to get your corners in the right place. So for example, you want this corner to be here, this corner to be here, this one to be here, and this one to be here. Now, it doesn't matter if they're oriented correctly, they just have to be in the right place. So this one should be yellow, orange, and green, which is this corner. And this corner should be red, blue, and yellow, which is this corner. They don't have to be flipped correctly, they can be sideways like this, just in the right place. Now, in a case like this, where none of them are in the right place, you gotta do this set of moves. U, R, U prime, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, L. Now, one of them should be in the right place. See how this is in the right place? You've got yellow, you've got green, and you've got red. Now, if a corner doesn't go into the right place, you do that set of moves again until at least one corner is in the right place. Now, you should never have two corners in the right place. It should be one or all four of them. If you have two or three in the right place, your cube is unsolvable, meaning someone has taken it apart and put it back together wrong. All right, now that you have one corner in place, shouldn't be two, shouldn't be three, shouldn't be zero. One corner in place. See how these three aren't, but this one is. You want to do that same set of moves again.
Editor Ty here, totally forgot to mention, you want to hold the correct corner in your right hand, like right under your right thumb.
U, R, U prime, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, L. Now, sometimes your corners will go into place and sometimes you won't. If they don't, you just got to do it again. U, R, U prime, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, L. Now they should all be in place. If they aren't, do it again and kind of repeat till it's done. And if it's not working, that's probably because you are doing it wrong or your cube has been taken apart and put back together incorrectly. Or, I kind of forgot to mention, The correct corner should be on your right thumb. So this was my correct corner, it was right here. If it was over here, it wouldn't have worked. Now, all of your corners should be in the right spot. We've only got one more step. All right, this is the final step, corner orientation. So this corner is already in the correct place. Now you should have 2 or more corners twisted. If only one is twisted, that means your cube is quote unquote unsolvable and someone has either twisted a corner and or taken it apart and put it back together incorrectly, and it is therefore an impossible scramble. So you should have 2 to 4 corners twisted. Now, how you do this, how you solve them, is if it's proper, is you hold the first corner. So if this one, say for example, this is the first corner because this one's scrambled, on your right thumb at the bottom, and you repeat this set of moves. R, U, R prime, U, R, U, R prime, U. And now see how that has gotten solved? Sometimes you'll have to do it 4 times. You'll either have to do the set of moves, R, U, R prime, U prime, twice or 4 times. Never 1, never 3, never 5. Now, you might say this is all scrambled. Well, now you turn the bottom and you repeat that set of moves either 2 or 4 times. R, U, R prime, U. R, U, R prime, U. Now, that's orientated, whatever. That's in the correct place. So now, you twist the bottom and you repeat 2 to 4 times. R, U, R prime, U, U prime. R, U, R prime, U prime. Now, that corner is correct. Now you can keep going until the cube is solved. You might also get a case where your 2 corners are across from each other. That doesn't matter. You start on either corner, this one or that one, and you repeat your moves. R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, U prime, twice or 4 times. I did it twice on that one. And then you just simply, when you turn your bottom layer, you just skip over this one and come to this one. And you repeat that set of moves. R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, U prime. Now that time I had to do it 4 times. And then turn your bottom layer and the cube should be solved. All right, so now if you followed those instructions correctly, your cube should be solved. Remember, you can always go back and watch the video again. I think I had to watch the video that taught me how to solve a 3x3 2 or 3 times before I actually solved it, because I kept doing stuff incorrectly. But I eventually got there, and yeah, if you're still having trouble with it after a handful of times, drop a comment, let me know. I usually read all my comments, and depending on what it is, I'll probably respond, and I can always make another tutorial video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys learned how to solve a 3x3, and if not, I hope you at least found it entertaining. That's going to be it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next week. Bye. Extra little tip, if you do this, you get a cool little checkered pattern. And to undo it, you just do the same thing.